Hello, everyone, and welcome to Willow Talk. Adam Peacock here. Hads, he's, I think, 12 hours after the final wicket or the final ball of that first up win in the IPL. Hads is still at his favourite establishment over there in India, enjoying things. Heels is over in New Zealand, and she's over there being our correspondent for the third T20 against the Kiwis, so she'll report back next week. Our impact sub is Adam Zampa in for Travis Head. No, we've got Sam Ferris here. Sammy, good to see you again.
I'm back. I need to get my hat on, my bat, Travis Head style. I've just maybe I'll keep the hat on. Actually.
You got the Napa. You've dusted off the Napa Valley, haven't you?
I love this hat. Yeah, it's good to be back. I tell you what, the show has only improved since I've left. So I should have left. I should have left months ago.
No, you're in the background now. You're improving things. I mean, Secret Cricket Club, which was one of your innovations, is going gangbusters, and we've got a great Ask Heels coming up later, which we've utilised the great the Secret Cricket Club. And a reminder for people who want to get involved in the Secret Cricket Club,
just head to the Instagram page, Willow Talk Podcast. Sign up there. Lots of background stuff. You get exclusive content. Talk to us through the show. It's good. Join up.
Join up. That's where we put it out, and we have a special guest on. We ask you, the listener out there, what you want to hear from our special guests and also our co-hosts when they're here. And we did one with Heels, and it was an Ask Heels, so it's going into great detail about her first up answer. Went in a place that I didn't think it was going to go in, but we'll that's the little tease for it.
I haven't even heard this yet, so I'm keen to hear it.
Yeah. It's well. No, I'll leave it. I was thinking of a way to tease it properly, and I could have gone down a path, but I'll leave it. Just after we get through our cricket news and everything like that, it's coming up. Ask Heels. It's well worth a listen. As always, get in touch with us on social media, Willow Talk Podcast on Instagram and TikTok, and also drop us a comment on YouTube and Spotify. So YouTube's a good place to leave a comment. So I'm too old to watch things on YouTube.
What?
I'm a listener. I like listening to things.
You're not that old.
Yeah, pretty old.
YouTube's going good. Get on there, leave a comment. Jolie reviews them all. He's picked out one for today, but it's a great way to see the show, especially if you've given your club cricket cap. Like I'm wearing the Napa Valley one. What'd you have last? What'd you have on Tuesday?
Peninsula
one. You can actually see what you're talking about. It's great.
Peninsula Cricket Club, because I actually see the ground that they play at from pretty much my house.
Did you have any saying getting that to the show?
No, I didn't, because they were never my cricket club. I always played against them. And as I explained earlier in the week with Heels, I can remember one day at Kitchener Park, it was an entirely unenjoyable morning trying to face fast bowlers who like bowling short.
What's your top score?
My top score?
All time?
Probably, because I stopped playing cricket when I took up golf mid-teens.
Oh, really? So you haven't played for a fair while?
Yeah, no. But
was your last game before or after South Australia's last Shield win?
Before.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. There was still a Queensland drought when I last played a organised game of cricket. Right. Yeah. But we do you see it on Boxing Day, a lot of guys have traditional days of going and playing a game of cricket, which is highly unorganised because there's an esky as a wicket.
Exactly.
But, when did you last play?
Oh, that's a good question. I think proper one was uni. So, we're going back a fair way now. 2011 or something like that.
Top score would have been about 30.
Yeah, right.
I was there to take the shine off the ball and usually wear that shine. It wasn't fun.
I got 90 against a team called a Bathurst pub team. They had 9 players. One of them was called Mr. X on the scoreboard. Okay. Took Mr. X for about 28 off and over. And he was also facing up to my hat-trick ball, and somehow it went between leg stump and his foot because he wasn't wearing shoes.
High standard then.
Yeah.
High standard.
I don't know how that was third grade. You can imagine what fourth grade was like.
Now, on Tuesday's episode on Spotify, Kayla left a comment, Sam.
Yeah, she said, happy belated birthday, Heels. As a Sixers fan, I think my favourite game ever was None for 199 against the Stars on Elise Perry's birthday, though Heels did nab the century. Love Willow Talk, and can't believe it took me until this year to realise Alisa Healy has a podcast. Sorry, Adam and Hads.
She's taken over these last couple of weeks.
The Alisa Healy podcast, isn't it?
Well, those two stories that she's told, the one about the overarm bowling and the one about the birthday present from Starkey going to the IPL, it's just gone gangbusters on
crazy
online. So, yes, we love her input, and she'll be back next week. And on YouTube, Gracie says, can we just agree that the Woolies mud cakes are better than the Coles ones?
I haven't sampled both of them.
No, I've had the Woolies one. I'm not a Coles guy, so I'm not
really?
sure. Yeah, have you had the Coles one? Have you?
No, I'm just saying because Coles is downstairs from our office, so I go to Coles a fair bit. But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
I wouldn't go mud cake either. I'd probably go like a tiramisu.
Oh, okay. A cosmopolitan of you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Let's get into the IPL. Punjab and Hads, first up win. Shreyas Iyer, this is what they bought him for.
Yep.
97 not from 42. Too good for Gujarat, who they restricted to fly for 232. Glenn Maxwell for Punjab, his new franchise. Golden Duck on the scoreboard. He moves back above Rohit Sharma on 19, but good for Hads first up to get that. They're an entirely different lineup from last year with Ricky Ponting now at the helm and Hads helping out.
Yeah, great first up win. So many runs. It's just...
But this happened last year.
And you reckon it's going to
Fresh wickets,
scale back a bit?
and then it scaled back a little bit. Like some of the grounds held their tracks. I mean, Punjab, for instance, they've got 2 home grounds, so maybe high scores are prevalent there. But
high altitude up there in the foothills of the Himalayas in Dharamshala, But impressive first up win. Maxi with that golden duck going for the reverse sweep first ball, getting trapped in front. Yeah, I think traditionalists wouldn't like that, but it's the IPL when you have to score basically a 250 to win games now, so got to do it.
Yeah, Dharamshala is where they're going to have a few of their later games, Punjab, and if Hads comes back to Australia in like hemp T-shirts, I know that he's had a really good time up there in the north of India.
Yeah.
So
He might have gone and see the Dalai Lama.
Or
What do you reckon Hads would ask the Dalai Lama? You got a trucker hat I can buy? Or do you want one?
Yeah. Trucker hat. Yeah. A Dalai Lama trucker hat.
Yeah.
I'd be impressed.
If the Dalai Lama wore a Willow Talk trucker hat, I don't know what would happen. The world would turn upside down.
Oh, fantastic. Starkey, first up win as well. So Lucknow, 8 for 209. That's the state of my eyes, by the way. Mitch Marsh, good to see him back in form. Striking at 200, 72 off 36. Mitch took 3 wickets, but they still couldn't get past Delhi, who got home with 3 balls to spare. Outstanding finish to that one. Rishabh Pant played a role in that one too.
Not the greatest game for Rishabh. I think got 6-ball duck, missed a stumping in the final over. Although it did come off the pad, so we'll give him that. Great game. Ashutosh Sharma, geez, I hope I said that right. 66 not out. He was the impact sub off about 30 balls, and they were trying to get him on strike, the number 11, squeezed through for a single in that final over, and he just hit the next ball for 6 to win the game. So it was an astonishing game of cricket. The impact sub, I saw MS Stoney come out saying IPL didn't need it. He said it was in a good spot without it. But when you can get finishes like that, maybe it is worth it.
Yeah.
Ask Travis Head.
Travis Head is in love with the idea and will be forever, and it probably extends his IPL career by about 5 years potentially. But, yeah, tradition says, and we've all been built at our ages, we've all had the tradition of the game built into us.
Yeah. I don't like it.
I'm saying our age, Sam. You're over the age of 30, okay? But I'm not. It twists me a little that you have an 11 and cricket is an 11-person sport.
Yeah. And the romance of seeing a tail ender get across the line. Like, how good was that Edgbaston Test on Australia won? But 2023, when Cummins and Lyon held off, and we're even talking about the Shield final victory from 29 years ago.
Mike Whitney, Richard Hadley.
McIntyre blocking out the draw to deny BJ and the Warriors.
Poor BJ.
That Mitch Marsh, his first ball was against Mitch Starc and he hit him for 6. Lifted him over square leg for 6.
Did they giggle at each other?
Oh, no. I think Starkey quickly got his hat from the umpire and walked back to his fielding position. But it is great to see Mitch Marsh out there. He's still, I know he's been battling injury, but he still looks like a man that can hit a ball. I think he actually hit one out of the stadium. So it's great to see him back. We need more of Mitch Marsh in Australian cricket.
Speaking of stadiums, Queensland Government have announced plans to build a 63,000-seater at Victoria Park for the 2032 Brisbane Olympics, which means the Gabba is gone, demolished once the games are over. This was always on the card, so no more Gabbatoir, but we head across town, across the river, a little bit on the other side of the CBD to Victoria Park, which looks a great precinct potentially. But new stadium for cricket, so AFL and cricket, like they share the Gabba. AFL a big domestic sport here in Australia for those uninitiated because it hasn't exactly bled over Australian borders into other parts of the world.
Yeah, the Shanghai trip didn't work.
Not quite. Not quite. Try as they might. Yeah. But cricket gets a new stadium. Hopefully it's got a little bit more soul, with all due respect to Perth Stadium, to play cricket in, because that just feels like a concrete jungle
Yeah.
when they play in it, and you look at the wacky and you think, I wish there was still international cricket there. I do anyway, because there's no things like the doctor and things.
Yeah.
But so hopefully they can find a wicket which is similar to what they have at the Gabba.
They've got to transport that thing straight across the river and get it right there. Yeah.
Favourite Gabba memory, Sammy? You've been to a few Test matches there. I've only been to one, but
it's got to be the Mitch Johnson 2013 first Test, where he just tore him apart. And I was on the cricket.com socials at that point, and it was a procession. England batter going out, England batter coming back, England batter, and the numbers were extraordinary. But there were genuine fear in those batters' eyes, and we've got that Graham Swan episode coming up, and he talks about it and how much they were shitting themselves in the sheds.
That I can't wait for that. So it's an English Willow Talk, which is going to be a feature of us over the next few months here on Willow Talk. We're going to have guests from the other part of the world, England, the mother nation in some respects. Graham Swan, I laugh for an hour. Yeah. So funny man.
It's probably top 3 Willow Talk episodes ever, I reckon.
And it's just around the corner. But a stadium feature you'd love to see at the new stadium if the cricketing types get the chance to name a stand or maybe a statue out the front.
Yeah. I think Haydos is a big shout, grandfather of Willow Talk. Andrew Simons Bar, the Roy Bar. Or
Andrew Simons Pool, where everyone can just get a little loose.
Yeah. Alan Border, he's got to have some kind of recognition up there. I mean, he's got his own field. But to be
in 2 states.
Yeah, that's right. To be
one where he grew up in Mossman.
Yeah, he's a New South Welshman, let's remember that. And there's just a couple of names that spring to mind. Craig McDermott, a couple of other heroes up there.
AB he'll be in the conversation surely for statue honours out the front.
Definitely.
I would think.
Yeah. Stand,
maybe. I'm not sure.
There's someone more.
That one, Queensland viewers, let us know on the YouTube comments and everything like that.
Jason Ackermanis stand up there for the AFL fans.
Well, maybe a statue of him doing a handstand out the front, AFL player. But yeah, it's the Gabba is gone. And by the way, for Sheffield Shield, we'll have a full review. We're sitting here recording this episode on day 1. We're not going to go into what's happening. We do know that Usman Khawaja is playing. He's in. However, we're going to review it all in our first episode of next week because it'll be worth reviewing whatever happens in that Shield final.
You and Heels did a great job going over that Usman Khawaja situation on Tuesday's show. It still doesn't quite add up for me.
Confusing.
Something's missing. Maybe one day we'll get the full story.
Yeah, the athlete management system mechanism that they have in place, that's the key to it all, I think.
Yeah.
So if there was something there for Uzi, tells the whole story.
There's 2 because there's the AMS and then there's the GER, which is GER, which I think is short for manager. And they're the 2 apps that the professional cricketers use. So across both of those, surely there had to be some kind of communication. Anyway, find out. But yeah, get in touch. Let us know on Willow Talk socials. The name of the stadium, a name of a stand.
Yep.
It'll probably be a sponsor name, won't it? Be like Suncorp Circular Stadium or something. But whatever it is, let us know.
Why don't they just call it the new Gabba?
That's not bad.
But it's not in Wollongabba, which is the suburb which the Gabba is in.
It's in Victoria Park.
Yeah.
They can't call it something Victorian, can they?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. The Victoria Park's there. They'll just call it Brisbane Stadium or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, umpire changeover. So, Sam, what about this? ICC has updated its elite panel for the 25-26 season. Joel Wilson. Have we got some music to play out for Joel?
Can we put someone here? Yeah, look.
And Michael Goff removed.
Goff is gone as well. What do we say about Joel? Look, I don't think any current Aussie player who played in that Leeds Test match in 2019 will be sad to see Joel go.
Yeah. What was it? Hitting middle?
I think it might. Well, I was taking a lot of leg. Yeah.
My goodness.
But they had a review. Anyway, we won't go into it. Spent way too much time thinking about that. But yeah, they do it every year. They review the elite panel. There's a couple of guys coming in.
Alahudin Palaka?
Yeah, from South Africa, former player, and Alex Wharf from England.
Wharfie.
Yeah. Rod Tucker's still on there, a couple of Aussies. So yeah. But so long, Joel.
Now, here's something I thought I'd never say. I'd never thought I'd say, rather, on Willow Talk. The inaugural Japan Premier League held its draft on Tuesday night. Japan Premier League.
They're everywhere.
What?
You know, everyone says everyone's got a podcast these days. Every country's got a T20 tournament.
Exactly. So 5 teams, North, South, East, West and Kansai.
Yep, in the Kanto region. So it's North Kanto, South Kanto, East and West, and Kansai. Yep.
Could retain 4 players and select 1 star player, all from Australia. Josh Brown went to the West. James Bazley, North. Sam Wilson, South. Mitchell Jamison, East. And Jack Wood, Kansai.
Yep.
Okay. So what is it? 3-day tournament in early May at the Suno International Cricket Ground, 90 minutes north of Tokyo.
You've pretty much nailed it. That's it. Little festival of cricket up there in the Japan Premier League over 3 days. Some of those you will know. Josh Brown, obviously, Renegades heavy hitter. James Bazley's played for Queensland and the Heat. Sam Wilson, not Captain America. Mitchell Jamison. These are club guys who will go over there and give it a good shake.
Yeah.
Not quite sure of the caliber of talent they'll be playing with, but what do I reckon Willow Talk get over there? There's going to be a Willow Talk World Tour soon. Got to go to Napa Valley. We can go to Tokyo.
Yeah.
Guadalajara.
Yeah. Tequila, like the town, the place Tequila.
Yeah. New Zealand, go and see Joel's mates.
Yeah, I suppose we're going to have to go to England as well.
Probably go to England.
Catch a bit of county cricket, go up to Durham, something.
Who do we know over there?
Someone. Graham Swan could drive us around.
Swanee,
Yeah. Reminder, it's around the corner, the Swanee episode of Willow Talk. But around the corner right now, after the break on Willow Talk, that's myself and Sam Dunn in the studio right now, we've got a special episode of Ask Heels. So here we go, Ask Heels. This is the first time we've done this. We've done a couple of Ask Hads, but we've been waiting for the right time, and now is that right time.
Yeah, I'm excited, but just reading through some of the questions, I'm a little bit terrified about what my answers are going to be, but I'm excited.
We have given you the benefit. We don't do this with Hads.
Oh, he doesn't know.
No.
All right, okay.
It's because we like you more.
Okay.
So,
well, to be fair, I've only skim read it, so I'm basically in the dark, but that's all right.
Nathas, first one. If you could change one rule in cricket, what would it be?
Oh, I just think you should scrap getting caught.
It's a rather hard one to get through the MCC, I would have thought.
Oh, that would be so ideal. Imagine if you just bat and never get caught. That would just be so cool.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I was expecting a crack at the light rules or, pitch doctoring.
Well, no, I was actually genuinely just thinking about this before, and I would actually love to see like ball tampering in the game.
Careful. This could
no. I know where this could go, but I would love. You know how they did like the Olympic Games where the
they haven't done it yet.
No, but they are. So
they're going to
take whatever you want.
Yeah, James Magnuson, the swimmers over in LA, just
What is that called again?
The I'll be dead in 20 years games. Okay. I don't know.
Anyway, so imagine if you could play one cricket tournament and everything's off the table or on the table. Off, doesn't matter.
Just a free for all.
Yes, and so you could put those.
You got people with hacksaws on.
Yep.
Out in their pets,
There's long fingernails. There's mints in your mouth. There's everything. I want to see how it would unfold. the bowlers would dominate. So not that I'm saying that in international cricket, but that would be a really interesting one to watch. And
it would be an interesting experiment.
Because there's a real art to it.
Oh, is there?
From all reports.
This is one of the more fascinating aspects of cricket because everyone who has played the game at any kind of level knows it goes on, knows the tricks of the trade, but everyone outside the realms of playing any level of cricket think it's treason.
Oh, there's so many stories, and everyone within the game knows exactly who's doing what, but you never call it out because it's always a thing. But like my favorite one that I've heard is super glue on wicket-keeping gloves.
Where? On the palm?
So dried super glue, a little bit sharp. So when you catch the ball and you go bang, bang, bang between your hands and you throw it to first slip.
But you don't want to get the wrong side of the ball, do you? Or you don't care about what side.
It's trying to rough it up.
Just rough it up as much as possible and make it.
That's the best story I've heard. And I'm obviously not naming names, but they're a current player.
Right.
Still playing the world game. But like unbelievable unbelievably skillful, and I don't know how we've gone down a ball tampering path, but
You brought it up.
there's a whole skill level to it. Anyway, carry on.
What a start to ask heels.
Yeah, I'm worried about where that one's going to go on social media, but anyway, let's go. Next one.
We won't put that one on social media, don't worry. Phoebe asks, since you're the captain of Australia and Pez is the captain of the Sixers, are you ever tempted to remind you of who is really in charge? I don't know if this is a Phoebe that you might play with from time to time with Australia,
This is a brave Phoebe Litchfield. If it is Phoebe Litchfield that's asked this question. No,
if it's not,
I can still safely say that Pez is the boss. I might toss the coin and make the decisions, but Pez is well and truly the boss. She's played more games than me, so you've got to listen when she speaks, and she has captained me for a lot of time during WBBL, and I fully respect her as a leader. So I do not remind her of who is really in charge.
but you've known each other since the age of...
Like 8 or 9.
8, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've known each other.
Yeah.
You just exist together.
Coexist.
Exactly.
She's a boss, though.
Steed asks, after cricket, will you ever make a run for PM? Hashtag Midge for PM.
Well, you know what, I would, but if I happened to just drop in on a podcast willy-nilly and cop absolute slating over it, I think that would change my mind, and that may have happened.
Shout out to Albo.
Yeah, so no, thank you. Whilst you probably think I can talk, I cannot.
Could you imagine?
No.
Being a politician like that, just putting yourself out there on a day-to-day basis just to be hammered.
Yeah, I don't have this deep desire for people to like me. Like, I don't need that to unfold. But to know that you're universally hated no matter what you say, that someone is going to have an opposing opinion to you is terrifying to me. So no, thank you.
Ollie asks, what moment out in the middle made you feel most accomplished in the sport? That's a very nice question, Ollie.
Yeah.
Wasn't that day at Hagley by any chance, was it?
That was pretty cool. No, I think tossing the coin at Trent Bridge in my brand new blazer was probably one I look back on and go, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Where's the blazer?
At home. I've got 2 actually.
Why?
Because I got fitted for my lovely MJ Bale one, but they couldn't quite get it ready in time to get over to England. Because Meg made a late decision not to play, I think it was. So our lovely manager at the time got one made, like tailored for me over there. So I've actually got 2 blazers. They look a little bit different, but it's pretty cool.
They ever come out at dinner parties?
No.
They just stay in the cupboard.
They stay in the cupboard. They're just there for your baggy green, right? And just there for showcase.
Yeah, just remind yourself, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
How good was that?
Yeah.
Or is that? Sean asks, what is the greatest sledge you have ever received? And what's the best one you've given as a bonus?
I get sledged a lot, and I bring it upon myself. So that's fine. One of the funnier ones I've had is I gave a bit of Julia Price was the wicketkeeper when I was growing up for Australia, and she was kind of the reason why that I fell in love with cricket. Like the women's game was when I went and watched her, and she took a hanger in front of first sleeve. I've told this story 1,000 times. Anyway, got to play against her in WNCL towards the back end of her career. And I think I gave her a little bit of lip behind the stumps, maybe about being a bit old or whatever it might have been. I was young and naive. Anyway, missed it stumping the next ball.
Ooh.
She turned around and gave me an absolute gobful about watching the ball. So that one bit me quite quickly. But I do get sledged a lot by the English. They love having a crack, which is completely fine. I think one home Ashes series, they were into me about not being the best wicketkeeper in the world, and little did they know that I don't give 2 shits about that. So that was not fair on not great on them. But best one I've given, I just think that there's just nothing better as if you're going to give a little bit of lip of telling someone how shit they are. You know what? Like, genuinely, if you're standing on the first tee at Longreef, Adam, and you turn around and I'm hitting in the practice net, and I turn around to you before you've hit your first tee shot and said, "Oh my God, you are the shittest golfer I've ever seen." There's nothing better than that. Because I know I'm in your head straight away. So,
have you written a book yet?
No, can do.
I can see this in the Ford. The first lines are, here's a lesson for you, kids. There's nothing better than telling someone else how shit they are.
Yeah. Like, I might just, I can guarantee you I'm as shit as what you are, but I'd like to remind you of how shit you are as well. So It's a really easy way to pull someone back down to your level.
Oh boy, that was not the answer I was expecting, but hey, it's quite the theme on this
Whatever
episode
works.
of
Whatever works.
Ask Heels. Met asks, who is the hardest opponent you have ever faced?
Ooh. As in team?
Open for interpretation, that one.
I mean, the English side when I first started playing for Australia was probably one of the toughest opponents I've ever played against, captained by Charlotte Edwards, who tactically was a master. So that was really hard for me as a young player trying to find themselves in the international game to be just out-minded, out-skilled was quite tough. So that early days England side, very good.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Individual? Got one?
I mean, everyone loves the old Elisa Healy, Catherine Brunt matchup story, so I will say, but she was very good. I think like what people don't realise is that as an opening batter, you face the best bowlers in the world more regularly than anybody else with a brand new ball. I'm probably going to get out to that a lot when she's quite good at what she does. So whilst she didn't win every battle, she was good fun to play against because I knew I was up like in the contest straight away, which was cool.
Jace asks, would you ever coach with Hads? Who would be head coach and who would be assistant if that is the case?
I would 100% be the head coach. Can you imagine Brad Haddon as a head coach? Nah, he's
probably not.
He's born to be an assistant. He loves that role.
Yep.
So I'll do the head coaching.
Yep.
And he can do the schedules and run the net sessions.
Yeah.
I'll just stand at the back like this.
The skill development and you just make sure everything's happening.
Yeah. I'll be the boss.
That's a good way to be.
Yeah.
Nick asks, in your opinion, what is the best Australian individual male and individual female performance?
Oh, goodness.
There's no wrong answer here, by the way.
No, there really isn't. Well,
it's what you've seen and what you've appreciated the most.
Playing in the modern game, I think I'd have to go Glenn Maxwell's 200 in the ODI World Cup.
Really? When he was cramping? Because he was cramping?
No, just from where we were.
Yep.
I think by far is one of the most unbelievable things I've seen.
Even though they didn't bowl a bouncer to him?
Well, that's not Maxie's fault, is it?
It is not. It is not. It's a very good point you make.
His ball striking, even on 190, quite remarkable.
It was something else. I'm not denigrating the performance there, by the way. I was just trying to play devil's advocate.
Female. There's been a few. I think I'd like to go with Annabelle Sutherland's 100 at Trent Bridge, coming out to about number 6. Still sits in my mind.
Why?
It's impressive. I'm not saying that we were in trouble, but England kind of wrestled a little bit of momentum back. They probably could have bowled us out that night if we weren't careful. Out strolls Belsey and just keeps them out there for a little bit longer. We bat until the next day, makes 100, I think, as a young player. Very impressive.
She's kind of backed it up since as well.
Yeah. Actually, I'd also like to counter that with, with Meg Lanning's 126 to win the Ashes series over in the UK at the Fortress, Chelmsford. Still by far the best ball striking I've seen.
Did you just say, oh dear, because if you didn't remind yourself to say it, you would have copped some grief?
No, I said, oh dear, because I can't believe I forgot that.
Oh, okay.
It's by far the best innings of cricket that I have been at live. It was unbelievable. I've never seen someone dominate so much.
So it was
over a short space of time.
Chanceless is what you're saying? Was that the impressive part of it
Yeah.
and everything off the middle?
Yeah, and it was the Fortress, right? England had never lost there. That crowd there is hostile as buggery as well. Like, the poor fielders that have to field on the boundary there cop it. I was copping it as wicketkeeper in the middle. And Meg just went out there and bossed it, and it still to this day was epic.
How good. Yeah. Rhea asks, if you, Meg and Elise had to form a trio in another sport, what would it be and what would the roles be? Like if you played footy together or...
Yeah.
Hockey or...
Actually, hockey would be a good one because Meg and I played it. I don't know how Pez would go.
Pez played about 8 different sports. I'm surprised if she didn't play hockey at some point.
I was just thinking like handball or something. Like how good would that be with the three of us playing in that? I think the roles...
The lunchtime handball, not the European handball.
either.
Yeah.
Both. I think, no, let's go European handball. Hilarious. And I think the roles would be Elise Perry just in the middle, doing all the work, setting up plays.
Yeah.
Healy taking all the glory, scoring the goals.
Yeah.
And Meg Lanning barking instructions. So maybe she's in the goals, barking instructions as to where to be. So that's exactly how it would be.
Okay.
And
cool.
that's how Pez and I played soccer. She was in the middle and I was a striker.
Oh, really?
Took all the glory. Yeah.
You
she
did.
set it all up.
Yep.
Took all the glory.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Well, one of you scored in a World Cup, so.
Could have been me. Once again, not good enough.
Did you ever find out from her if she actually meant that?
Yeah, but I don't want to ruin it.
Okay. One day we'll get her on.
I think I've just given it away.
No, not really. One day we'll get her on.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I've asked her that question and the response isn't overly surprising.
Burnsy asks, what were your thoughts on playing at Great Barrier Reef Arena in Mackay?
Clearly a Mackay local. I love going to Mackay, actually. It's a thriving little country town. Great amount of pubs, but playing there, it's great. It's always a good wicket. The new stadium, excellent. The facilities are outstanding, and I love the fact that it's backed onto a sports club, so people sitting there watching the rugby or whatever it is on the afternoon, hanging off the balcony watching a game of cricket at the same time. It's a really cool vibe up there, so it's good fun. Good
urban planning right there.
Very
it sounds
smart.
like. Litchi asks, what's your favourite innings of all time?
Ooh.
And again-
99 at the Wacker.
You keep on doing this to yourself. You're the one that keeps on bringing it up.
Yeah, I'm very self-deprecating. I mean, it's hard to go past the World Cup final. 170, I think that was it at Hagley.
And I may mention about a couple of months ago, that someone was going berserk in a game, and I said, oh, this is like Healy clearing a fence for fun at Hagley that time. And then I went, and then something triggered inside my brain. Wasn't that the time when she scored all those runs across the ground?
Yeah, hit a lot of balls along the ground that day.
And you wanting to get rid of the court mechanism in cricket lends me to believe that was an outlier of an innings. But no, you just found gaps and obviously got into a groove.
Just one of those days.
One of those days.
That was pretty cool.
At what point did you realise it was one of those days? First ball, second ball, 50th ball?
Once I got through the first 10. So that, like I said, there's Catherine Brunt, New Ball, and Shrubsole, like two of the best that done the game for England. Rach and I knew that if we just got through the first 10, set ourselves up, we were like none for 40 after 10, which in modern day game, like not overly quick. Once we got through that, we were like, we're set, we're sweet. So that was kind of the moment. I didn't know it was a 170 moment, but I thought generally I get to 60 and get the wobbles. So to keep going for me was the most impressive part. Even when they were laughing at, because I had hand cramps, my forearms were cramping and my hands weren't gripping the bat properly and I couldn't open my hands. So they were stuck like this.
Really?
Yeah, and it was remarkable. And the Poms were like genuinely pissing themselves because they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I can't open my hands. Danny White, I think, was standing at point absolutely pissing herself because after every ball I'd be like, trying to peel my hands apart and then grab the bat again. So yeah, like the resilience of my forearms. Well played. Yeah.
Proud of you guys.
Yeah. Thanks. Yep.
It was a fair knock.
Yeah.
It was a fair knock. Sean asks, what is your favourite dismissal of all time that you've been involved in? Is it when Lanning bowled the ball and it bounced off your head?
No, Lanning, that is my favourite dismissal, but Meg was batting. So this was in a WNCL fixture. I think it was a semi-final back in the day. And we played Victoria at Manuka Ovals, ringing a bell. I don't know why we were at Manuka. I was keeping. It was back in the day. We didn't have to wear a helmet up to the stumps. Sarah Ailey was bowling. It was mid-over. I said, I'm going to come up to the stumps because Meg's coming down the wicket. Anyway, top edge, straight into my forehead, got caught at short cover.
Oh.
Yeah, had a big egg on my head. So there's a cracking photo of it actually on if you Google it. Cracking photo of the egg on my head, and then Lauren Smith. The best part, so Lauren Smith took the catch at short cover, and the vision is her celebrating like an absolute peanut because she'd caught the ball, and there's me walking in the other direction holding my head, and the only person who came over to see if I was okay was Laura Marsh because she was like, that's just come straight off her head. Everyone else is celebrating the wicket. Anyway, came out, made 60 odd, not out in the chase, so I was fine.
So it was no residual, no like where am I 3 days later or anything like that.
There was more that unfolded a little bit later that I haven't actually shared in public, so I won't tell that story now. But
Okay.
because back then there wasn't really like a concussion proper protocol.
Yeah.
So they just came off fast. If I was all right, I was like, yep, went out to bat. Somehow fit the helmet back on my head, and carried on with things.
Good times.
Yeah.
We'll get that other story off you one day.
One day it'll come out. Yeah.
Alex asks, what's the favourite pair of wicket-keeping gloves you ever had?
Well, funnily enough, my first ever pair that I got given was from my grandma, and they were the old Ian Healy Supremes, which now I've only just now realised whether or not she actually bought them or if they were Uncle Ian's hand-me-downs. But they're still my favourite. They were the old school green with the little white mesh in the middle and the gold kookaburra yellow face. So they're still by far my favourite.
Excellent. Nagsy asks, what does a weekly training schedule look like for you?
Oh, Nagsy.
Well, I can say, looking at the tee sheets here at Longreath, there's a 7:41 on a Tuesday. There's a 10 o'clock on a Wednesday. Oh, look, there's a Thursday tee slot as well.
Yeah. Well, Nagsy, at the moment, it does look a lot around 8 or 9 Ks of walking, and that may involve the golf club in my hand. We're not sure. It varies, I think, depending on the time of the year and when you're on tour. Obviously, things are a little bit different, but let's say a normal pre-season would be you're probably in it training between 4 or 5 days a week, whether that be on the running track, in the gym, getting all your skills work done. It's a full-time job. Look, we're not in there 9 to 5. We try and avoid that as much as we can, get in there, get out and go and do something else with our lives, but we're in there most days working hard, so that's basically what it looks like.
Fair enough.
Yep.
TJ asks, what are your fingers? Are your fingers in better nicks than Uncle Ian's?
Yes, they are. Pleased to say, I've got a few arthritic issues about to unfold, but mine are better than his. And I have asked him to. So he had rubber knuckles put in. I think this is well publicised back in the day.
Yeah.
Broke his fingers so many times that they had to replace the joints. At that time, it was rubber, and I think now he's had them replaced with it's like platinum or something in there now. There's like a metal of sorts
It's
in
going
there.
up in the world.
Yeah.
Rubber to platinum.
So I've
Well done.
actually asked for them in his will. So when he passes, I get his knuckles. So that's great.
Of your platinum knuckles. I would guarantee that that's the first time that's ever been put into a will.
I don't think it's actually in the will, but I've joked with him and said, well, now that they work so well, can I have them when you go?
Hey, you got to put them in the will, otherwise it won't get executed.
Yeah.
You got to execute all the parts of the will.
My left index finger is starting to get more disgusting each and every day, so I'm due a new knuckle at some point.
Okay. Sounds like fun being a wicketkeeper.
Yeah.
Unreal fun. Mitch asks, what does life look after cricket? Or what does it look like after cricket?
Is this Mitch Starc?
I don't know. You can tell me.
Well, I don't
Does
think...
he ask this question all the time? Or?
Yeah, a little bit. He is asking when I'm going to retire. That's a good question, Mitch. I'm not 100% certain at the moment. I'm currently thinking about life after cricket and what I'm going to do with it. Maybe a podcast. We'll see. A different podcast.
Well, what? What's wrong with this one?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I've always thought I definitely want to give back to the game of cricket. It's given me so much. I think what that looks like now might be a little bit different to what I had envisaged in the past, but I'd still like to be involved in the game and sort of give back to it because it's done some amazing things for my life and sort of given me amazing opportunities. So if I can help in any way, shape or form to the game itself, I'd definitely like to do that. But as to what life looks like, I think I might put my feet up for a little bit and chill out.
I was going to say, because some cricketers especially, because there is so much time associated with cricket that like your games go days, not hours, that you get to I've seen so many cricketers get to the end and just go, I don't want anything to do with this sport for a while, please. Can you appreciate that point of view, or you want to stay connected in some way, shape or form?
Well, luckily for me, and I say luckily because a lot of people fall out of love with the game, but I still love the game and I love playing it, but I love the game as a whole and what it brings to people and what it does for people as well. I think it's really cool. So, I'm lucky that I'm in that place that I still would like to be involved with it
Ajax, so this is getting deep and meaningful towards the end of Ask Heels. What made you want to be a pro cricket player?
Probably my first CA contract.
It's a point.
Yeah, like I get asked that a lot. Like, when did you know that you wanted to play for Australia and all this stuff? And I was like, well, probably when I started playing for Australia. I never really. It's not that I never dreamt about it. I thought it'd be really cool. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like, oh, this is the only thing I want to do with my life. So I feel lucky to have had that perspective. But it was probably when I first started playing for Australia and realised that can do this for a living and travel the world and do that, probably maybe want to do it even more.
Can you remember what the worth, if you don't mind me asking, what the worth of the first contract was?
I was ranked number 18 out of the 18 players in the squad.
It's better than being 19th.
I walked into my contract meeting and said to Belinda Clark, when they told me that, I said, I'll be number 1 next year, like joking. And she said, if you get to number 1 next year, I'll double your pay. I don't think I've ever been number 1. That was 16 years ago.
Bloody Perry.
Yeah.
Bloody Lanning.
Damn it. But it was $5,000. And I was the richest, I think I was 18, maybe just freshly 19-year-old. I was the richest human on the planet. And I was like, what am I going to buy with that? So times have changed.
What did you buy with it?
I think I saved it. I bought my car. So I paid half for that. So probably my whole contract went to that, probably. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But you felt like a millionaire, and that's the main thing.
Oh, I was so rich.
James asks, who's your favourite batting partner of all time? Oh, you're going to disappoint some people here. It's a tough one.
You know what? I actually, I think I loved batting with Leah Poulton the most.
Really?
Yeah, which might surprise a few people. But we opened the batting for New South Wales a lot. And she was like one of the most, she was kind of like ahead of her time if with T20, if she was not running cricket and was still playing the game, she'd be like dominating the WBBL. But yeah, she was so much fun to bat with, and we all kind of just went tit for tat all the whole time. We were trying to hit bowlers everywhere, and it was just good fun. So I should also probably say Rachel Haynes, but for the complete opposite reasons, because she kept me calm. But Leah was the one was like, yep, just keep going. If that ball's in your slot, you hit it. So she was good fun.
About 5 people have asked on the Secret Cricket Club, are you going to lock in the Napa Valley trip?
You know what? I actually think I am, because I am desperate for some games of cricket, and this one seems like the easiest option, and because it involves not a lot of cricket.
When was it again?
I forgot the dates, but
it was in an open window for you.
I think the 1-2 Napa Valley, I think, was an open window. Yeah. The Northern v Southern Hemisphere game, I'd like to take part in that. So, I'd like to lock it in.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eddie.
Yeah, I'd like to lock it in so we can do a couple of podcasts from over there.
I've got to bring my media manager with me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we can take our, our assistant coach with us as well.
Yeah.
Brad Haddon.
Well, I need a warm-up. So, we need someone who's skillful enough to provide the horrible banter that...
Yeah.
So, yeah, Hads.
The problem is that if he went and we all went, he'd want me to get me in a net and he'd get that wanger and he would be sending all kinds of junk my way. Yeah. I guarantee you.
That's all right, though. I think you'd be fine.
I'd be coming back looking like one of those grapes that are in the bottom of a vat. That's what I'd look like.
Yeah. Well, you'd be right. I think you'd be okay.
I'm not so sure about that.
There's always payback.
How?
Well, he can't see so good anymore, so get him back.
Last question of Ask Heels, and thank you everyone for these questions. Lisa asks a really simple one. Who is the GOAT of the women's game? Again, you're going to piss someone off here.
Yeah, no matter what I say, someone's going to counter it with somebody even better. It's really hard to say, and I think it's the same in the men's game, right? Because the game's ever changing and the modern game's different to the game that was played beforehand. So actually pinpointing who is the best that's ever played is hard.
Can I redefine Lisa's question?
Yep.
And sorry, Lisa, if you don't mind me doing this. Say there's a WPL auction tomorrow.
Yep.
And every player that you've ever played against, played with, watched is in that draft at the top of their game. For a T20 tournament like that, WPL, who are you picking?
Oh.
Unlimited budget.
Wow.
Can be retired now, but we'd get the time machine to bring them here when they're at their peak.
Jesus.
I could almost hear your brain thinking at the moment.
This is a really hard question because... Well, from what I've heard, I've only played against her once, But a Karen Rolton would be someone that you would pick because of the way that she hit the ball. I fielded at short cover one of my first games playing against her. They put me in there. I think I was a bit too chatty, so they put me there to shut me up because she cover drove one straight through me, basically.
Oh, really?
So it's got to be an all-rounder, I think. So for me...
It's a hard one because those former players, born in the wrong era.
Yeah.
Like imagine a Viv Richards in the T20 era.
It's hard to kind of pinpoint who that person would be. So, Lisa, I'm really struggling to answer your question. I'm really sorry. I think Elise Perry will go down as one of the greatest to have ever played the game. And so I would naturally lean that way. But, I mean, there's so many that could also... I mean, you look at Meg Lanning's record, you look at Belinda Clark's record, and I'm very Australian biased here, but you even look at Nat Sever-Brunt. She could also go down as one of the greatest to have ever played it. So there's multiple.
A fence sit to end Ask Heels, which is fair because she doesn't want to upset anyone.
No.
Because she's too nice. Really enjoyed that. Thank you, Heels, for answering all those questions. And thank you to members of the Secret Cricket Club. Now, if you're wondering what the Secret Cricket Club is, it's on our Instagram page and you just click on something that says Secret Cricket Club there on our homepage. Go into that, join up, and you'll get notifications of things we are doing on the Willow Talk podcast. That's it for Ask Heels. Catch you soon.
See you soon.
Thanks for listening. Yeah, thanks for watching the Willow Talk podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't have to miss an episode wherever you are. And while you're at it, check out these videos up here. They're mostly good.